Welcome to the Oz Champs podcast, brought to you by the local game, and thanks to Macron Sports Hub Adelaide. We've only got this episode and one more to go because the Oz Champs, or the Australian Champs, is almost wrapped up. And what a series it's been so far. Some great games, some entertaining clubs as well. We've been out to a few this weekend, but let's get straight into it. The quarterfinals kicked off on the weekend, 4 massive games. And we managed to go to 2, Antonis, over in Victoria. Could have fit in the 3, but Avondale, the drive from Avondale to Heidelberg might have been a bit tricky, I reckon, getting out of that car park at least.
It's one of those things that you don't have the time to be confident that it's not going to go to extra time. I'll be able to get a good parking spot and get out. I get to the other one on time, but happy with our choices.
Yes, absolutely. And I forgot to introduce ourselves. I'm Johnny Keko, Antonis Begonis, and Simon Jimenez. Boys, it's a bit informal this week. I feel a bit weird having no South Australian left in the competition now, but big credit to the boys though. MetroStars, they did South Australia proud. I think hold their head high after what they did. Unfortunately, to go out 6-1 in the end, it wasn't a great scoreline to finish up, but doesn't resemble the amount of effort and the performances they put in throughout the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a huge season for them, and they're obviously hit with some pretty significant injuries. And one thing we didn't really talk about a whole lot during the championship was the fact that Owen Windsor was out for that as well. So even with the start of the competition, it was always going to be a little bit tricky for them. But I think they showed a lot of, growth throughout the tournament as well. And I think going forward, that will only serve them well. It'll be interesting to see as we go into the local NPL season next year, how much of the team stays on. I understand that everyone did commit before the championship for 2026.
I believe so.
But we'll see. Overall, made history, been part of it, made it out of the group stage as well. Great effort.
After that, the final whistle was blown, they started their pre-season, I'm pretty sure. And it's ironic because the rest of the NPL team started their pre-season only a week ago. So, their off-season just kicked off. Now their pre-season for the other clubs has just started.
I was going to say, that'd be rough.
Not rough, but it's probably expected.
Daddy got hard running on Monday, yeah, boys?
Sorry, I meant to say their off-season has started, not their pre-season. Jeez. But yeah, so what a long year. It's been 12 months for them, so they need a break now, and I think they're going to get at least 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think, again, the scoreline says 6-1 at the end. But in general play, I actually think they can hold their heads up high because they played some good stuff. But if you look at the scoreline, when the goals came, they came close to each other.
Yep.
And I think it's one of those things that you can get very demoralized when you have your chance and then you cop a couple of quick ones and you think it's such a long way back. And you could see towards the end, some of those were errors that they wouldn't usually make. You could see probably heads down a bit after a while. What can you do? As you said, it was a good experience for them, especially playing against the NPL team of 2025 in Heidelberg and getting that experience. And they can hold their heads up high, in my opinion.
That insane home record, too, for Heidelberg.
They haven't lost at home since July 2024.
That's insane.
That's incredible.
And the thing with there is beating, 4 A-League teams back to back to make the final. It's easy to forget that they had an all A-League run until the final. So, again, MetroStars earned the right to be there. Credit to Heidelberg because you have to remember they even lost their coach before kickoff.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Don Anastasiadis had a health scare. Great to see that he's going to be back on the bench.
I think he was at the ground when that happened as
well.
He's
going to be back this week. It's great to see. But again, as a player, it must be going through your head that your coach is going to be, is he all right? We have to go play a game of football. So they had a lot going through them as well. And I was impressed. They play some really good football. They're super clinical. And there's players like Lesiotis who I think could easily be in the A-League and is doing quite a job for them.
And in saying that as well, they had something extra to play for. They were playing for Johnny as well. You could see that in the way they were playing. And after the aftermath as well, I was lucky enough to be in the change rooms for work filming the celebrations. And some of the speeches that they had in there in regards to Johnny and what that performance was on the day was incredible to watch and witness, and just the way they celebrated that as well. So I wouldn't be surprised that despite the sad part about it, it kind of probably gave him that extra bit of motivation to play for the coach, which we know in those moments sometimes it just gives that extra push.
And he will be back this weekend as well. I read too long ago.
That's confirmed.
So
And I think Tom Visser scoring early as well gave them that scare, that gave them that extra push that Heidelberg, a giant, they realised that, 2 minutes in, we can't let this happen.
Well, you talk about good clubs being clinical and being able to punish opportunities. I think that being able to punish errors, we saw that a lot. But let's not forget as well that, MetroStars were a benefit of that early on, which was good to see. I like to see when a club can really get that good start. Unfortunately, it didn't mean a whole lot in the end, but, it's all experiences.
It's the experience. And we mentioned last week how they'll be better off for that experience, having to add more strings to their bow.
Yep.
So looking forward to what that does for them next season. And I'm really looking forward to a competitive NPL next year, because it's not just Metro returning for it after a long season. It's also other clubs like your Adelaide City's thinking, this stage seems familiar, and almost, the good old Adelaide City, West Adelaide divine right to be in. Well, there's nothing divine about it anymore. Unless you have the cash, you got to earn your place in it. So looking forward to the clubs. No, it's no longer a concept. It's a reality that players and coaches have been in. Get yourself there.
Well,
let's rejuvenate these communities.
Now you got two NSL clubs that will be keen to go back in there with West Adelaide and Adelaide City. Both, I'm sure, that would love to be up on that national stage once again. But
they're gonna have to fight for it.
Yep, I was gonna say, but MetroStars have had a taste of it now. They'll want to be back there next year. That's for sure.
And there's nothing that motivates you as much as not just seeing a fellow South Australian club going and enjoying the experience, but also seeing your counterparts interstate. West Adelaide seeing South Melbourne, the sister club, and what they can do. Adelaide City seeing clubs like Apia and Marconi and what they've done.
I think Comets have got connections with South Melbourne and Heidelberg as well.
It's the Greek ones, but definitely
it's the Greek ones.
But South Melbourne and West Adelaide, their sister clubs are both Hellas, so it's very deep there.
Absolutely, and we've seen it with the Croatian clubs as well, how deep they've gotten as well. But it's great. I love that game, and also we'll talk about the other games in a second. But we'll wrap this one up with my experience down at Heidelberg. I thought it was a great venue to head down to. It's got that old school, like we used to be an old school running track around there as well, which doesn't appear there, but you can see the gaps from the grandstand. That grandstand is unreal, isn't it?
Oh, it's
so old school.
Olympic Village, it was, and you definitely get that vibe there. But they've made a nice little home for themselves there. Club rooms are great. You really feel the significance of the club. So it was a nice day to go out there at Heidelberg. I enjoyed my time there.
Yeah, out of Euros, that was awesome. And highly rate it. The system, I had to go pay for a ticket outside and I had to go back in. I forgot to get a drink, so I had to go back outside, get another ticket and go back in. So that was interesting, but it was cool though. Like, that's what I love about these clubs, experiencing something different, and highly rate it.
Shout out to the lady at the counter at Heidelberg, because I forgot to get a ticket as well, and she let me pay there anyway. So
there you go.
Lovely.
I didn't. I had to go back
because I'm Greek.
Greek connection. Yeah.
And you was Italian.
Go back there, Italo.
Go back where you came from.
And it was great to see that after the game. So after the game, they had a little area, and I saw it roped off with tape, looked like almost like a crime scene tape that they'll use. Probably wasn't, but that's what
foreshadowing?
I was like, what happened over here? Then I realized that was all blocked off so MetroStars could go have somewhere to sit after the game to have their dinner, which was very nice of them to do. So despite the result, they all went out there and had a Euros. It was great.
The victims of the crime that day.
Wow. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But then I was like, it's for them. So that was cool to see, and very welcoming club. I thought it was a very cool experience to be down there.
That's what you want. And again, with a quarterfinal, the stage can be very big. It can get bitter at times, but it's good to see that. No, it's a game. After the game, we sit together, we have a good time, and again, MetroStars do it here. You expect it in return as well. So it's good to see that mutual respect.
And just to anyone that does go to Olympic Village in the future to watch a Heidelberg game, just make sure when you put into your Uber or Diddy, whatever you do, you put the right Olympic Village. Because I saw a few people that drove to the wrong place. And I remember the first time I looked it up as well, it sent me to Sydney. So
and the thing is,
the wrong Olympic Village.
Because it can take you to like the Olympic Park in the city, like next to Amy Park. So that can be dangerous too.
Yeah, just be careful.
And the other thing, well done to the Heidelberg supporters too. They were busy congratulating the players, while the MetroStars players went to thank their families and friends that came over. The Heidelberg supporters started giving them a very warm round of applause as well, which was a lovely moment for me.
And I want to just say as well, before we wrap it up, because this is the last time we'll talk about Metro, I reckon, but I want to say well done to the Metro fans that went over as well. Over 100, I think, went down there. The amount I bumped into on the plane, in the airport, even in the streets, it was cool to see a lot of Adelaide support and people going over to get behind them, because that was very special, I think.
And I'll tell you what, like when we talk about passion with this code, the amount of money some people spend.
Oh,
is
man.
I know of people that spent as much as myself, Seb, and Mikkel, who went together. We went on the drive. We got a cheap hotel. We paid for our fuel. What we spent as a three, I reckon these people spent more just having to fly over and get in the hotel. So just the passion.
Well,
some
actually,
people have for
I don't know
it
your
is-
exact figures, but I know roughly what the hotel cost for you. That was your hotel between three of you was probably one of my flights, one way. Actually, no, a little bit less than one
I
of my
reckon
flights.
less. We did not stay at the highest quality establishment, but I did the job.
I saw photos. You're not wrong. You're not wrong there.
Did the job.
I think the inside of my toilet bowl was cleaner than some of your walls in my hotel. That's for sure. But you did it for the club, so you did it for football.
I did it for football. It was a
I don't
great
know how you did
weekend.
that.
And again, big end of year trip coming. You have to save money where you can. But when the South Australian club makes it this stage, you have to be there, don't you?
Yeah, well, I had long Uber rides and a very comfortable hotel by the casino. So
Well, we got to drive our own car, so cop that, Johnny.
I had great chats with my Uber drivers. They were fantastic. Asking me about what football was being played. But anyway, let's move on. But thank you to MetroStars for what they did. And a big shout out to everyone at the club that have worked their asses off here as well. But it's not an easy feat, especially doing something that you haven't done before in regards to this competition. A brand new comp, but they did a very good job to put it all together. And let's just hope it gets bigger and better every year. And a shout out to everyone that made their way over. That was a lot of fun. So anyway, I had some great experiences. So I can't wait to relive that again next year, hopefully. But let's move into the next game now. Friday night, let's move to that one. Derby d'Italia, a big game. The two Italian teams up here, Marconi. What a great game that ended up being. It was 20 penalties in the end.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of it, it got pretty exciting. But I got to be honest, I know you guys were pulling double duty watching Adelaide United as well. But I had that game on, and to be honest, there were some moments that weren't exactly that exciting. It was pumped up as the Derby d'Italia, but I don't know, maybe it's from a South Australian perspective. I don't see that as big an event. I don't know. But by the time it got to the end, yes, it was very exciting. We had seemingly a never-ending penalty shootout. Before that, obviously, there was the 99th minute goal to make sure that it was in extra time. And the rare sight to finish it when you've got a goalkeeper running to the crowd with their top off to celebrate scoring the winning pen. So there's some bragging rights, I think, for James Hilton, not only being at the receiving end of those pens, but scoring the winner as well. I kind of like seeing a GK being able to celebrate in that fashion. It's good.
And future GP as well. So
GK and the GP.
He's definitely going to have a story to tell. But it reminds me, in Greece, there was a big final, cup final, Olympiacos against, I believe it was Ike. 3-0 or 4-0 after 120 minutes. Same thing. Penalties. Goalkeepers actually had to take 2 penalties. And Olympiacos goalkeeper Nikopolidis saved the pen, got the ball, placed it down, scored his pen to win it. That's exactly where my mind went. But what a moment. And, you know, you get people, the good old Australian non-football person saying it's not high scoring enough, you get nil-0s and it's boring and all these things. But this is what we do because the tension rises and rises and rises. You just don't get moments like this everywhere else, you know? You get moments like that because it's gotten to that point. So, again, it's a balance of things. And every now and again, you get moments like this. But how lucky are we that we've gotten moments like that in the first season of this tournament? We've had goals from a halfway line. We've had drama in the groups in the last days. Now we get a goalkeeper saving and then scoring the winning penalty. It's unbelievable. And again, they'd be considered the underdogs in that matchup as well. Marconi just getting the job done in the derby. It's unbelievable.
Yep, and they're going to be moving on to host next week. We'll talk about that very briefly later on as well. But any other points on that one, boys?
I reckon that pretty much covers it. And the last New South Wales team to be flying the flag is Marconi against their rivals in Leichhardt. So.
Which, again, is interesting because starting off, you'd expect either the premiers or the champions, NWS or Apia, but you get Marconi out of it. So they can almost go and be the side that was, I wouldn't say disregarded, but not the first thought this year. Maybe making a final, maybe even winning a final. And again, old NSL side, they've got that flag to fly. So cool stuff going on there as well.
Absolutely. Let's move into Avondale, where we saw our second Victorian team making the semi-finals in that game as well. Avondale, unfortunately, losing at home. It's a big loss for them. 3-1, I believe it was, and also a red card to Avondale. So that hurt them. But, wow, Wharton, man. Who would have thought the team from Queensland are through to the semi-finals?
Yeah, underdogs, and absolutely ran over them in the end in the second half. So I'm excited, to be honest, to see a little bit of extra flavour from outside Sydney and Melbourne as well. They're the last team that are left in this competition from outside of those.
Shame they're against each other.
Yeah. Oh, no, well, more will be, one has to go.
Yeah.
But, we've got some representation in the semi-finals, which is really exciting. No longer can New South Wales and Victoria claim that they're top of the pile because we've got, a club that's done something really good against a really highly regarded Avondale. The interesting point out of that game for me was video support coming into it. I think it was 58th minute or so where one of the Avondale players was shown the red card. And we spoke a little bit about video support last week, what it means. But we got to see it there because...
No, we didn't.
I think it was announced right after our podcast. We
Yeah.
discussed it on our chat.
Oh, okay.
we discussed it off air. It literally came
fair
out
enough.
right after the podcast got released. So we discussed it heavily in our group chat, that's for sure.
Now we can talk about it more. But one of the things I was surprised, I was excited about was usually during a game, and I love to stand between the two benches, you hear all the banter and everyone's letting the fourth official know what they think. With this, the bench has to put their money where their mouth is. And, they can say it's not a foul. They can question the fourth official, try to play these dark arts games. But with this, they have to make a decision.
Yep.
I saw it. Do I want to challenge it? And in that moment, the Avondale coach, Jonathan Germano, decided not to challenge it and let the red card stand. So I think if that wasn't the case, we'd probably see them jumping up and down, throwing their hands around. But there it was really up to him to think, do I want to challenge it? And he decided not to, which I think was a little bit of a surprise. But with that, it shows that this is potentially a system that works.
Yep.
And we were talking about off there. I really like it because the accountability is not, you mentioned, not just with someone in a room 1,000 kilometers away. It's with the referee on the ground, number one, but it's also with the teams as well. Because you got two of them. Are you going to use them wisely? Because again, someone like Germano was probably thinking, I saw it. I don't think it's going to be overturned, but what if there's a penalty that I'm 50-50 about? Will I have a challenge left for that? So game management as well. Like you'd be selecting a player, you are selecting a moment to challenge. Something may come up that you may want to challenge. So I like it personally more than VAR. It's a concept I've discussed before. Not quite like this, but something similar that it adds a bit more to the game instead of subtracting to it. Because now it's a conversation. Why didn't you do that? And if something else happened, did you make the right decision with it as well? It's shared accountability, and it's accountability within those lines of the field. You're there, the referee's made a call, you can challenge it, it's your choice. But at the end of the day, the referee's made the call, it's up to you what you do. So I didn't know about the sign. And when Danny Greystone and Barbiero were going like that to each other after conceding, I was like, what are they on about?
That's a usual Danny Greystone move, though, as well.
That's what I was thinking. They're going to change the tactics now.
He does a lot of these ones.
I was right in front of it. And after they conceded a goal, and Fabian and Danny thought he'd been fouled. And Danny goes to him, Fabian. And then Fabian goes, I'm like, what?
That's a new signal. That's the new signal.
I got it after a bit.
Yeah. That's my signal was like, guys, wrap it up. Let's go.
I was watching. I'm like, are they going to try something off the kickoff? And then the challenge was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. And
You've got to be careful. It might look like Fabian's trying to say that he's had enough and he wants to change.
Yeah.
But later in the game, when I think it was an offside goal for Heidelberg, and they went and challenged it, the players started celebrating like that because MetroStars had challenged it. So then it added a bit to the game. It was a good laugh there too.
You're right, Johnny?
Yep.
A lot of moaning and groaning coming from there.
My leg just went numb.
Yeah,
Dead. My leg is dead. My left leg. And now it's got pins and needles.
Just to know about our fitness levels, this gets you a cramp in this podcast.
Oh, pins and needles down my leg is bad. I don't know. Oh,
You need a moment?
yep, I need a moment. That's right. This is live podcast for you. I'm not editing it at all. Oh, no, got pins and needles. You know when you go, it goes completely dead, and then it gets to the point where it starts feeling good, and then it goes pins and needles.
I think we
I'm in that last stage.
We might need to add a bit of a descriptor, like a warning. Do not listen to this. You need to watch this. Otherwise, you might get some random screaming.
Oh, yeah. You let my healer. What the hell's going on in the background? Oh,
Get
man.
demonetized.
Yep. Oh. Anyway, that's just next level. Anyway, it's not the first time that's happened to me. I had my leg crossed, and that's why. But anyway, let's move into the final game as well, where we saw some FVS action as well, and that happened to be in the South Melbourne game. The game we also went to round out our weekend in Melbourne. The FVS one actually was the first one so far in this tournament. It's only been for these first 4 games, but so far this tournament, we saw history that day where they finally overturned a decision and it went into the favour of the coach. It was a red card that was for FWS Spirit. Sorry, NWS, not FWS.
Yeah, they like it so much to change their name.
NWS Spirit. Oh,
Imagine naming your club after a video review system.
The Football Video Support Spirit.
well, now all my blood's gone. All my blood's gone back to my leg now, so that's why the pins and needles gone. It's out of my brain. But the what is it? NWS. So they overturned. They got a red card. And they said, stuff it, we'll just use it. Used it, and they overturned it. Mm-hmm. All of us in the crowd were like, nah, definitely it's a waste. And then bang, got the card back. So,
but again, like you say, it eliminates the complaining. Coach, you don't like it? Go on then.
Yeah.
And again, the South Melbourne bench, what can they say? Like VAR would do something similar, but it's not VAR. They chose it, they challenged it. You can do the same when your moment comes.
Yeah.
So
I don't like it.
But the game went on. No hitches after that. No complaints. But it was a good game. Obviously, Spirit entered this as premiers of New South Wales. So even though they're not an establishment club, there's a lot of quality about them. And we saw a decent game. Couple of goals I want to mention Max Mikkela's involvement, because anyone that's followed their NPL know about his monster throw-ins, like could fit into prime Stoke.
Mate, that was incredible.
That guy, and I remember telling you before, I was like, watch this row. And just an absolute bullet. Keeper misses it. Lavelle nods it in on the goal line. But the other thing about Max Mikkela is he finds the goals moving forward as well himself. I think he scored like a scissor kick in the past. He's got skills moving forward, and he scored a sealer. So go on and assist to get his team into the semi-final. His legend down that lakeside continues growing. So a really enjoyable day, great atmosphere, and South Melbourne really rate themselves. They would think that we need to get the job done here because they're looking forward to a match we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, Max Mikkela instrumental in that game with a trademark assist and a goal.
Yep. What a great day down there as well. I absolutely love it. My first time down at Lakeside. It was your second, I think, Antonis. Walking in and seeing the first experience of walking into the club rooms, actually that first entry point, only you will remember this, Antonis. It reminded me of the Women's World Cup in Sydney.
Yes.
Remember we had to go through the media background to get to the back route and walk through the pool area. That's what I felt like, that kind of back route. But it was cool. Then they got the room there, which had pushkas on the wall. You had the history with Ange Postecoglou. It was great to really to witness all that.
But the trophies, everything.
Yeah.
You realise why South Melbourne talk about themselves the way they do, because they've got things to back it. And it's not just they've got it, they appreciate it. They've built a space for it to be showcased. So you walk in and you're like, yeah, this is a significant club. And not just there, you walk out, you see the crowd, you see the atmosphere, you say, yeah, this is a serious club.
Yep, I'll never forget that moment when I walked out of the club room through the back behind the stadium. And when you walk out and you see the pitch for the first time and the blue track around it, and then you look up and see the massive grandstand packed with people. And when I walked out, that was like, I was in awe because their active support were going nuts. I was screaming, they were chanting, and big kudos to them. They put it on. They know how to celebrate their team, and I think the band was still going at that point as well. So they were competing.
It's something that they've been building for years. Again, this is not where they want to be either. You know, they've got their eyes on the A-League. We know, but they've thrown their hands up for anything available. They're going to be in the OFC League.
Yep.
In January. They've been one of the biggest proponents for this competition to return to this
Yep.
National scene, again, their eyes are even bigger than this, and good on them. You want ambition like this. And again, they cop a lot. There's a bit of tall poppy syndrome going on. There's a few fans that make it very easy to have a
Yep.
knock at them as well. But like with every club, but good on them, because this was the whole concept of this competition.
Yeah.
Clubs like this showing you haven't forgotten about us. We belong here. And again, a club like South Melbourne have ticked every single box for me so far, and
Absolutely.
long may it continue.
And it was great atmosphere. I loved it all down there. And it's if anyone that's never been there, it's like Santos Stadium on steroids. It's great.
With a better viewing experience.
Very better viewing experience.
You actually watched the game from the same suburb, which is very underrated.
Oh, mate, I commentated my first NPL game at Santos. That was the hardest thing in my life. I had to actually use binoculars.
Yeah, I was going to say the hardest thing was getting a mortgage out to get really good binoculars, because you really need really good ones.
Yeah. But it was good experience, and the food down there as well lived up to my expectations with the lamb. That was the lamb, chips, salad. Oh, so good. Tzatziki. I even told a Greek to have it, and they had it and they loved it. So anyway, it was so good. But it was awesome. And then their hospitality afterwards, I was just hanging around because obviously Tommy G, South Australian, was there. So a bit of his family and friends were down there. So having a chat to them and just watching the hospitality that they did for the opposition on the day, NWS, all sitting down having dinner together, and the food looked incredible. So didn't actually touch it because it's a different state. I'm not going to go there. But I was full as well. That lunch was awesome. But definitely want to go back to Lakeside one day. Let's move into our next. Quickly wrap things up. Let's keep it very short, sharp, shiny. This semi-final coming up on the weekend is going to be a big one. We've got two massive games in Victoria and New South Wales. Let's go to stay on Lakeside Stadium. That's a big one. It's the derby. It's the Greek derby. Heidelberg, South Melbourne. This is going to be massive, Antonis. You're the Greek. You might as well talk about the Greek derby.
Yeah, it's huge. And again, the winner goes to the first final of this competition. So you've got South Melbourne, who's the historical big team there. They feel they belong there. But then you've got Heidelberg. Everything's lined up this year, and they played the best football. They've had fantastic results. They're backing themselves in this situation as well. So someone's going to have bragging rights, and someone's going to be very, very hurt after this. But it's going to be a huge crowd, great atmosphere. There could be one game I wish I could attend, will be this one, because I reckon it's going to live up to everything. So really looking forward to following along with this from outside of the border this time around. It's going to be great, and really looking forward to seeing who comes ahead in what's going to be a historical night of football in this country.
How do you feel about another road trip? No, me either.
If someone wants to sponsor me, I'll send you my details. I would love to fly over, but I am not driving this again anytime soon.
Any sponsor that wants to pay for him, you got my number too. Just reach out to me.
I'm
You
Greek.
guys already been away.
I'm Greek,
This
so
is my-
I get priority here.
I've already had 2 weekends in Melbourne. I want to do a third.
Yeah, fly him to Sydney.
Actually, I'll do that too. Marconi. But anyway, and let's talk about the other one, Marconi and Moreton. That's going to be a massive game as well, because we'll be the only non-Victorian team to take on a Victorian team in the final.
Yeah, and I've decided to take the role of the de facto Moreton City Excelsior supporter.
Yep.
So I want to back a team that's outside of New South Wales or Victoria. And I've got to say, that kit last week, kit in general, very, very nice.
I'm an Arsenal fan.
I'm hoping to see Moreton City come in and cause a bit of an upset. I think it's great for the sport to see a non-Victorian or New South Wales team be part of the grand final. Having said that, Marconi at home, it's going to be a tough trip for them. So looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it should be a good game, and I'll back Moreton as well, because I don't know if it's from the same area, but I love a Moreton Bay Bug. Are they from the same? It's from it is. Yeah. That's why I always call them the Moreton Bay, and I'm like, no, Moreton City.
And one more point, lovely to see semi-finals that are hosted by the clubs and not a neutral venues. It's going to only add to it.
Well, that's what we thought it was going to be neutral, but we got the final. It'll be interesting to see how the final is scheduled, but we'll find out that at a later date. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be huge. Let's hope that they can both get big crowds. And we know now, we know Lakeside, and you've been to Marconi Stadium as well, and that is a great venue. I think these are the two best venues locally in Australia, and what a way to represent semi-finals of this Australian Championship, because either one you go to, you're going to have a great experience.
And I'd like to see Marconi packed like Lakeside, because like I said, it's a great venue, but I think they can do a lot more work getting people in there, and what an occasion to get people in. So I'm hoping to see that packed to the rafters too.
Absolutely. And let's just say how lucky we are in South Australia because we can go to multiple venues, but having experienced Victoria 3 times and, well, the Marconi one, I didn't get to because it was just too hard to get to. And you did look at your face. But we're lucky here in South Australia.
If you're playing at home, go on Google Maps from Central Station in Sydney to Club Marconi and talk to me about it because there's a specific bus that's like 50 stops. I'm not even exaggerating. And it literally goes up one street and then back up. It's again, to us simple South Australian minds, it's
Well,
and it literally takes 2 hours. But yeah, great. It's great. It's a great
Heidelberg
venue.
was easy to get to, but the bus ride or train ride was ridiculous to get there. It was like over an hour, way over. It was like multiple things. I had to walk about 20, 30 minutes as well. But Uber would cost a bit as well.
But the other thing about Lakeside, it's so accessible. You can just literally get the tram.
Oh, that's the best.
And you're like a 5-6 minute walk. It's superb. But
Yeah.
great to have them at the clubs because for me, the clubs have earned the right to host this. In the future, if you can make an extra week available, wouldn't it be cool to have a home and away leg?
Yeah.
And really make like a fortnight out of it and get each club. You've made it past the 60, you've been the 16, now you're the last 4. You have earned the right to have a big day at home. So something for the future. Glad for Marconi, glad for South Melbourne. They deserve the host and they're going to get their day. So we'll see how it goes from here.
Absolutely. Well, anything else? Any last comments?
Scratching my head.
Nah, all good. Well, we loved it. Loved Melbourne, and I loved heading out to experience that and seeing all the other content creators out there as well. That was one of my favorite things, seeing people that we have seen online and I knew who we were and was like, we've known each other for so long, but it's the first time meeting in person. So you would know that experience well, Antonis, yeah?
So I had a lot of that in round 1. We're going to Melbourne for the South Melbourne Sydney Olympic game. We felt like a big pilgrimage for all those kinds of people.
That's one thing I loved about this whole competition, even when they came to Adelaide as well, was great. Well, that's it from us this week. We'll be back next week for our final episode of Oz Champs. Thank you, boys. That was a lot of fun.
Looking forward to it. It's been a good couple of months.
Yep, and then we'll know by next week if we're going to go make a trip to the final. If it's in Melbourne, I might go. No?
No, I don't think so. Again, sponsors, we remain open. We'll go from there.
If you're watching and you want to sponsor us, we'll do it. I'll come up with a great package for you guys as well.
Three
Just for you.
firm handshakes.
Yep.
And a shout out.
Exactly. Have a great one. We'll see you all next week. It's the Oz Champs podcast by the local game. All thanks to MetroStars Australian Championship Adelaide. Adios.